Hey everybody, welcome to the Rise Above team call. This is actually the first team call that I will be hosting. I'm sorry, the feed looks a little bit fuzzy. I'm hoping that it fixes itself as we go on. Anyways, today I'm here to talk to you guys a little bit about content, about posting to your page and kind of how that all goes down, how that works. So first of all, I just wanted to kind of tell you guys a little bit about how I started posting to my page. Most of you know me or have gotten to know me over the last little while. And one thing that's super notable is that I am a little bit shy. When I very first started out posting to my page, I was super fearful. I was nervous about what other people were going to think of me. I was nervous about, were people going to like my posts? Were they going to comment on my posts? Just super fearful, super insecure, feeling outside of my comfort zone. And I just want to drive home to you that that is okay. That is exactly how you should feel, and that's completely normal. And I hope that that doesn't deter you, because that's what this is all about. A couple quotes I want to start off with just to kind of preface this call. So the first quote is about comfort zone. Actually, they all are. So it says, move out of your comfort zone. You can only grow if you are willing to feel awkward and uncomfortable when you try something new. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. If you do what you always do, you will get what you always got. So yeah, it's going to be awkward at first. I think one of the things that I did often in the beginning was I completely overthought things, and I would not end up posting because I was like, oh, this sucks, this sounds awful. I would sit there and draft and never post and feel really overwhelmed. And I think what I've learned as I progressed and as I got through all of it is just that, I think that we all start somewhere. We're all going to make mistakes. It's all about failing forward. It's all about growing with your experiences. And so to that, I sort of say, just do it. Just post. I mean, first and foremost, I think the thing that you're going to want to announce is that you are coaching. Like, you are, in fact, a coach. You're now doing this Beachbody thing. You're super excited about it. You're feeling super passionate. You found something that really works for you, and you're loving it, and you want to share that with others. That's kind of where I started. That was my post number one. A lot of people start on a fit page, and a lot of people just start on a name page. There's a lot of differences between the two and the amount of effort that goes into them. I will save that for another discussion or private one-on-one to talk to you about traction and all those things. There are videos out there everywhere that can assist you in learning more about that. So we won't go into too much today. But point being, it's not going to feel natural at first. It doesn't for anyone. It's going to be scary. When I first had to be posting body pictures and things like that, I was like beyond nervous because first of all, you probably all heard my story at this point, but I went in with lots of body conscious issues, lots of insecurities, lots of fear. I still battle with those, but I have improved over time, and that's just kind of how it goes. We all have our own obstacles that we have to face and overcome, and that was definitely one of mine. I would post things sometimes and run away from the computer because I was just like, I don't want to see if anyone responds. It's so scary. But I think the ultimate thing I want to convey to you guys is that it gets easier. It becomes less scary, and it starts to become second nature. You start thinking, oh my gosh, this would be a perfect post. I have to save this. So just keep in mind that it's a learning process. You're not going to be perfect at it. You're practicing. It's something you're new at. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to be like, oh shoot, why did I post that? But you'll find your way, and I think that's really what this is all about. One moment here. Sorry. Okay, so now we're just going to go into the very, very basics. So if you are doing your name page, it's really, really important, I have to say, that you have a picture of you at the front of it. Because when you're adding people to your network that don't know you or your acquaintances, you want to make sure that your face is the forefront. Not you with your hair over your face, not you with a hat on your head. Your beautiful, smiling, welcoming face. That's your business. That's your brand. And if you have a name or your banner, if it's on your name page, I suggest doing this too. But if you have a fitness page or you're thinking about creating a fitness page, I think it's really important that your banner says a little something about you, what you like, what you're into. For instance, I, like you guys may all know, I like drinking. I love a cocktail here and there. There are certain foods that I just love. So there's some pictures of me partying on my page. I'm a bit of a goofball. I like to say and do silly things. I think it's really part of my personality to make just kind of silly faces. I stick my tongue out. I say dumb things sometimes. That's just me. So I have pictures of me partying. Another thing that I really enjoy is adventure. I love going on hikes. I love snowboarding. I've bungee jumped. I've skydived. I've cliff jumped. And so that I post a little bit about that and me. I'm also a wife to an amazing man that I want that to be part of my banner because that's part of my life and my family. I have a cat and I'm obsessed with him. So he is on my banner too. It's just things that you love, a culmination of things that you love that you want to have on that banner there. So that is just kind of the initial intro to your page, just the very, very basics of it. And a couple of things that I would suggest if you're just getting started out is to start searching top coaches. Start looking at the top 10 coaches. You'll find them. If you look them up, you type in top 20 Beachbody coaches or whatever. My coach is actually number 43, which I think is really, really cool in a network of 400,000 or something like that. Anyways, find coaches that you relate to. Find people that you connect with on a personal level. When you see their posts, you're like, holy crap, that's awesome. I would want them to be my coach. I can relate to them because that's really where you want to key in with your page. You want to figure out who your market is, who are you talking to? You ideally, people you're going to connect with are people that are like-minded, people that are drawn to you. So that is kind of where that starts. So a few just ideas of content for your page. I'll go into this a little bit further at the end. I have a little slideshow thingy that I'm going to show you. It's made by a different coach, but I thought it was kind of cool and could provide a little bit of insight. So some of the things that I do on my page in terms of content, I will provide a tip or tool in terms of a workout tip, something that I was already looking into, or something that a girl in my challenge group may have asked me about. And I'm like, well, if this is relevant to them, if they're asking these questions, it's more than likely that somebody else has the same question or wants to know a little bit more about it. I also post food. I post pictures of my food, sometimes with recipes, sometimes not, because I think I get asked a lot by people these days, what are you eating? Because they think I have some secret sauce magic diet that I'm on. And so I like to show them that I'm a real human and I eat real food and I'm not depriving myself in any way, and that my eating plan works even though I drink cocktails sometimes and I do these different things. I'm not a superhuman, right? I post my workouts. I basically, my page is my accountability, right? So I need to prove to everyone, including myself some days, that I'm doing my workout. So it's either a sweaty selfie of me having done my workout, it's a video of me doing a workout, and kind of a little bit of a story into what was happening with me that day. Was it an awesome workout? Did I up my weights? Was I feeling great? Was I having a bit of a hard day? Was I feeling really tired and not motivated, but I still ended up working out? Kind of, just paint a picture when you're doing your posts. I think that's really important and key to getting people to kind of get to know who you are. And yeah, in terms of content, you're going to want to make posts that add value. So kind of what would you want to see on somebody's page? What would you like? What would make you stop the scroll and read somebody's post? That's what you need to be thinking about when you're posting on your page. So you want to post with purpose. Pay attention to what you're posting. If you're adding value, recipes add free value. That's something that you are giving to somebody. You're not asking them to buy anything from you. You are just simply being an awesome person who's sharing a recipe with somebody. What else adds value? Motivational quotes are awesome to add value. I post them often. One thing I think is really crucial and key is that you put your face in a lot of your posts because you're branding yourself and you want people to see you. They can find a Pinterest quote anywhere and smack it down on their page. So you want it to be different. And if they end up sharing your post or something like that, then that's your face being shared. And that's really important for your brand. Yeah, and you want to think of your market when you're making these posts. Are you marketing, what are you like? That's kind of the person you're going to be marketing to. So I don't have a family. I think I tend to draw in women of all shapes and sizes, but generally unattached or not married, or well, sometimes married, not usually children, because I don't myself have children, and I find that women may not relate to me as much because I do not have children. Not to say that I don't bring in people that have children. I think these programs are amazing for busy moms and things like that, but I would say that my demographic is more 25 to 35-year-old women, single, married, whatever. I often find that a lot of people connect with me because I'm an animal lover. I love dogs. I'm a dog trainer. I love cats, all of those kinds of things. So that tends to be a bit of a connecting point for a lot of people. Also, yeah, so that's a little bit. And then you want to kind of think about the quality of your post. Are you just throwing a picture of yourself saying, wee, I went blah, blah, blah. I went snowboarding. I just ate food. Yum. That's not super entertaining. I don't want to see that. If you're going to keep it short and simple, keep it fun. Do a fun one-liner. Be creative. People, there's a lot of noise in Facebook, and so you need to stop the newsfeed. And it's not always easy, trust me. I've struggled with this since day one. It's been 8 months, and it's taken me a lot of time to really build up my page. But yes, think before you post. Is this post adding value? Does this post resonate with me? Would it resonate with somebody else? Can they relate to me? A lot of people will add just various tips or weave in sort of an invite to a challenge group, like, I'm hosting this if you want to join me after a workout post, those kinds of things. And yeah, like I said, make sure that you're in a lot of your posts. You want your face out there. You want to be showing people what you're doing, not just posting pictures of other people and other things. And finally, for this bit of the topic, I want to discuss negative talk. I know that we all feel bad sometimes. We have crummy days. If you're following me, you saw that over the weekend I had a bit of a rough weekend, and I did share about it. But what I do suggest you do, if you are having a bad day and you're wanting to go into the details of it, you absolutely need to put a spin on it. How you turned it around, a silver lining of sorts. You worked on something, you did positive affirmations, something to sort of flip, the script on it all. You don't have to be perfect, and I think people really, really relate to not being perfect. I think that's what's really important. I know a lot of coaches or people that talk to me about coaching will say, oh, well, I'm not at my ideal weight, and I think that that's actually the most perfect thing, because people don't relate to perfection. People don't relate to the perfect body. People relate to people that are relatable, that are everyday people, that are working hard towards goals and sharing it and sharing positivity and all of those different things. Negative stuff is going to happen. And I don't expect you to be a zombie and act like, oh, I'm perfect all the time. Because if you notice on my page, I'm not that way. I'm vulnerable and I'm relatable. And I think that that is really part of what draws my tribe, my people that I'm attracting to my business. And that's another thing. You're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. So don't stress about it. Don't freak out when somebody unlikes your page. Don't freak out if you don't get any likes on a post. This is all very, very normal stuff when you're starting as a coach because you haven't built that credibility yet. And so people don't trust you yet. But I promise you it happens. I remember 6 months ago or so listening to my coach making a video very similar to this. And I'm thinking, yeah, whatever, like you have this many likes on your page, blah, blah, blah. I'm never going to be that good. But I'm getting there. I am. And it just takes consistency. It just takes time. So keep that in mind and don't get discouraged. Another thing, just a side note, if you are posting somebody else's content, it is pretty smart to make sure that you cite the content and give credit to whoever created that content, to be on the safe side. But it's totally okay to share other people's content. I get that. There's all sorts of ways that you can find content through Pinterest, following other coaches, blogs, through Team Beachbody, YouTube videos, all sorts of different things. I'll talk a little bit more about that as well as we go on. And then there's timing. So if you're putting out an invite for your challenge group or some sort of post where you're weaving in an everyday thing with inviting somebody to a challenge group, to a free clean eating group, to, whatever it is that you're doing, you're not posting at 11 o'clock at night. Who's looking for that at 11 o'clock at night? Albeit there are people awake later at night, but you need to find like your demographic and what times to post. So for me, oftentimes I'm posting around 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 5 p.m., and 9 p.m. This isn't like rocket science, and I don't do it perfectly every time, but those are the times where people that work 9 to 5s might have a break in between, might have a lunch in between, or just on their way to work. So they might be glancing at their newsfeed, Instagram account, whatever it may be. Frequency in terms of posting is, I suggest at least 3 times a day minimum. The reason for that, especially for your fit page, is you will lose all traction if you do not. And like I said, I will go into a video where I specifically, or share a video where there's specifically a discussion about a fit page or a business page and why it is different and what you can accomplish on there, but why there are some extra struggles involved with creating a fit page. But yes, 3 times a day, fit page or personal page, you have to be consistent, because how is anybody going to trust you to help them start their fitness journey, to motivate them when you're not showing up for exactly that? So you need to show people that you are doing it. But one thing to note, it does not have to be Beachbody related. You don't have to be plastering Beachbody all over your Facebook page all the time. I don't recommend it. You're going to turn people off. You're going to look like an icky salesperson, and I don't like icky salespeople on my teams. I like people that believe in the products, love them, do them themselves, and want to share them. So you also want to be inviting people into your world, into your general world, what you're doing, how you're doing it. I posted a thing about Home Depot, and it was just a picture of, not even a picture of me, an aisle in a Home Depot talking about Home Depot and referencing a funny movie that I love. And it got so much traction. I thought it was hilarious. So it doesn't always have to be, if you're out for the weekend and you're not doing as much fitness and business related things, you're not going to have as much fitness and business things to talk about. And that's okay, because what you're trying to do is invite people into your life. So share when you're going to the grocery store and you're eating healthy and what you're buying. Share when you're doing things with your friends, because people want to see you have a life. Share you know, obviously your workouts, motivation, all those other things that I discussed, things you're passionate about. It doesn't even have to be Beachbody related. What I found with this business is when you have other things you're passionate about, you can actually kind of weave them into Beachbody, and that's another way that you can add value of a different nature, and people that are interested in that topic might reach out to you about that, which is another kind of cool thing, is that you can really make this business your own at the end of the day. I mean, obviously it starts slow. It starts with the basics. It starts with consistency. It starts with inviting new people to your network, inviting people to your challenge groups, consistently posting to your pages. That's how it sort of starts. But it can grow into so many different things. And I've seen lots of coaches end up completely transforming their business and creating another business out of their business, which I think is pretty freaking rad. Yeah, so, and then in terms of your posts, try to make them eye-catching. Make people stop on the scroll. I know what a lot of times videos work really well for me. I think a lot of people like to watch videos. Speak your mind. I really like doing those kinds of speak your mind videos. Another thing is when I'm all spruced up, I guess you could say, going out for the night or something, those tend to get traction. Or when I'm doing something with my family and I take a photo, those tend to be pretty popular. But yeah, you want the picture to be bright. You don't want a dark, dingy picture, kind of like what you would see right now in my screen here. But try to make it eye-catching. Try to make it with picture of you, with a quote. Make it bright, make it fun, make it happy. When you look at it, would you stop and click on the picture to expand it? Those are the kinds of things that you want to be thinking about when you are creating it. So another thing is just wording. When you're wording your posts, you want usually the first sentence or so to be something that might draw people in a little bit further. And I'll go into a little bit more about that in just a moment. But you know, you see me and I get pretty wordy, and that's okay. You can get wordy sometimes, but make sure that there's something that's drawing somebody in to the post, so they're actually going to want to read all of your wordiness. Because I know a lot of times what I'll do is just go right down, right? Like, oh, this person is talking again. And one thing that I think is really that seems to get a lot of traction on my page as well is when I create bullet points about facts and things like that. I'm not sure what it is exactly that does that, but or why, but I think people like things separated. It's easier to read each little individual point, and it seems to draw more attention for some reason. And yeah, again, I think one of my final comments on this is just don't be discouraged. Just don't. Get out of your head. Stop worrying about what other people are thinking. This is what you want to do. This is a change that you're making. You want to start a business. You want to make a little more money, or you want to make this a full-time business, because it's all possible. But you need to stop worrying about what other people think, because this is what you're doing and this is something you want to do. And if they're not interested in your page, if they're seriously bothered by a post that you make, then they're not part of your tribe. They're not somebody that you want to be connected with in the first place. And that's what I've really learned. And I've had to let go because I have lost, you know, some people on my page and things like that. And at first I think it really hurt my feelings. And then I started to realize the bigger picture, which is I do this for myself. I do this to help other people. And the amount of people I've helped versus the people that have decided that I wasn't for them, or they unfriended me or whatever, is far greater at this point. Again, that takes time, but seriously, when you get your first challenger and you run a challenge group and that you see that person succeed and you got to help be a part of that, it's just, I can't express to you how special that was for me, my first time doing that, and it's just been super rewarding. So 1 minute here, I'm just gonna screen share with you guys a little something. So you'll be seeing my desktop here in a second. Okay, so I don't know if I can expand this anymore, but this is just a little something about how you never run out of content. It's not always easy, and you're not a superhero, so it's not always going to be easy, but you can actually go to this slide of material, if you go to this little tab here, you can find more information too. This is Chelsea Pearson's, and she is an amazing coach, and you should check her out. I think we'll skip this for right now, but I think one thing to take away is you're going to be taking this business one step at a time. You're not always going to know exactly what's going on, what you're doing. You're focusing on your personal growth at first, your transformations, challenge groups, and posting to your page. We'll stick to that for right now, just for the basics. You're going to want to be growing and setting things in motion, which means inviting people to your challenge groups, to free groups that you might be creating, which I'm going to have templates up for, and there are already templates up in the Follow Your Bliss files. You want to be proof of the products. You want to be proof that what you're doing works. You want to be providing evidence and results of that. You are going to be growing yourself. So you want to share breakthroughs. You want to share things, mindsets, ways that you've changed. You started with Beachbody and now you've changed your mind about this, or you've been able to overcome this. And I think that that's really important to get to that point. I know that sometimes people feel like they don't have as much content to share when they first start, but you have something to share. You're always going to have something to share, and it's important and it's special, and so are you. So just remember that. And so here's a couple of questions that you can ask yourself if you're just feeling like you don't know what to post about. So I do this a lot. What am I struggling with today? Are you having a rough day at work? Is there something that happened with a boss? Are you don't want to work out today? Do you have an injury? Are you not feeling well? Any of those things are super great posts to make, because you can say, maybe how you overcame it, or that you're injured and you needed to listen to your body, or whatever it may be. Another thing, what inspired me today? So like I said, you can find all sorts of different places and get inspired. But yeah, what inspired me today? Post a quote. Post why that quote's important to you, what it means to you. Share it with others. Why did you feel that spoke to you specifically today? And yeah, don't post what you think other people want to hear. Post what you feel. Post what speaks to you. How have I grown since yesterday? What changes have you made? It could be mental. It could be physical. Have you upped your weights in a program? Those are always really exciting things. I've been really diving into this next one, which is what is my biggest excuse. I've been addressing excuses on my page and kind of calling people out for making excuses, because at the end of the day, I know people that are working programs and doing things with Beachbody when they're working 3 jobs, when they have 2 children, and trial and tribulation in their life, and they're overcoming them. They're still working their business. They are still getting their workouts in. So not to say that I don't have sympathy, I address excuses because that is what I consider them to be. I consider them to be excuses. So I bust out my excuses, and then I explain why or how I overcome them, and why it's not actually legitimate in most cases. Obviously, there are exceptions to the rule, but you guys get the idea. What does success look like for me? So paint a picture about what maybe you want the business to do for you, or goals for the future. People want to hear about you. And I think, you might not feel that way at first, but you'd be really surprised. I have people that follow me and say that I inspire them and all sorts of things. And when I started, I didn't think I could inspire an earthworm. So just something to think about. Yeah, what does the old me think? What am I hopeful about? What was my light bulb moment? You will find, if you're doing personal development, that you are going to have a lot of light bulb moments, and with this business. So I hope that you're doing it. And yeah, so what was my win today, or how did I win today? How did you overcome something? Maybe you didn't work out as hard, but at least you worked out. Whatever it is, what was your win? What makes a good caption? So this is a little bit more about, how you're going to actually caption your picture, or if you're going to write a bigger, longer post. There's some things that you can kind of cue in on. Short and sweet one-liners are really fun, especially if you're not really feeling like word vomiting your emotions and feelings and all those different things to your page, because I know you're not always feeling like an open book, and I understand that. I don't either. So yeah, some funny ones that people just connect to. They'll have a good laugh. They'll want to share it with their friends, because that gets more traction to your page when people share things. Negative wording. So kind of like saying, I never thought I could be somebody that could do this. I never imagined that I could be here. I never thought I would say these words. A lot of people for that is like, I never thought I would say that I work out every single day. This one says, I never thought I would be comfortable in my own skin. Something to think about, because that, when I read that line, I'm like, whoa, what's the next thing that this person's going to say? And talking numbers, like I said, bullet points seem to draw people in. When you say, like, I'll do facts about my workout today, and it'll say, like, 1, I was feeling really tired, so I drank my pre-energized workout, and now I'm feeling great. 2, I was feeling extra sore today, so I had to go to lighter weights. 3, whatever it is. Use emotional power words. Things that people look at and they're like, whoa, boom, this one's destroying. It just, powerful things. And another thing that's always a really fun one is taking polls or asking questions. People like to participate. They like to be a part and have a say in your page. And that's a really, really fun one, especially when you get a lot of participation, because it just increases the amount of people that are seeing your page. So if you've got a smartphone, which I pretty much think all of us do these days, there's all sorts of different apps that you can find. Obviously, Pinterest, Google Drive is amazing for saving files. I use Photofy. I use Pick, Play, Post to do my videos so that you can see sequential videos. I use iMovie. There's all sorts of photo collages. You can look a bunch up. There's more suggestions in the Follow Your Bliss page, and we'll be on Rise Above soon. I'm just still kind of getting that page in motion, so stay tuned. And yeah, where to find ideas. Kind of already talked about this. The internet, YouTube, Beachbody Online, screen save things that you see when you're scrolling, perusing the internet, because that can be content for you later, and you can kind of just keep that in your back pocket for another post to do later on down the road. And then, yeah, where to find inspiration. Again, you can create your own Pinterest boards. You can find recipes there. It's pretty awesome. I'm not going to go too much into that. And then there's always these fun hashtags that you can use. I use Flex Friday. I always post a Transformation Tuesday, whether it's someone in my group, whether it's somebody on Beachbody, somebody in my Follow Your Bliss page. I've shared some of my coaches' posts, some of my coaches' results. I think it's really important to show that the programs are working for not just you. At first, though, I was posting pretty much my own results, which is pretty normal, so don't stress about it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I think the final note I wanted to address was just be the person that you needed every single day. Post something that you think might really help somebody else out for their day, that, like you're feeling down and you want to share something for somebody that might be feeling the same way you are, because that's where you're really going to get your true followers, make friends, connections, people that want to do challenges. That's where they're going to come from. So just something to keep in mind, you guys. That is all for the team call today. I hope that this content was enjoyable, that you learned something. It looks like, let's see here. Yep. I guess there's no questions, but yes. So I'm going to be hosting these team calls. I think at this point I'm going to aim for weekly, but if not weekly, bi-weekly. So I think the next date will be, let's see, the 16th, Wednesday the 16th, next week at 6 p.m. They're going to run between 30 and 40 minutes at this point. And if not next week, it'll be the 23rd. If there's something that you want to hear from me, something that you want addressed, questions that you personally have, I would be happy to basically schedule a team call based on your needs, because most of my coaches are new. So it's very exciting, and I'm excited to start doing these calls. And always, they will be recorded, but it really means the world to me when you jump on live, because it's fun to talk to more people than just myself. So anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday evening. Reach out to me anytime you have questions about coaching, things that are interesting you, and just if you need one-on-one talking, whatever it is, I'm here. I love this, and I hope that you guys get the ball rolling and love it as much as I do. Cheers, you guys. Good night.